So I've got 2 heart transplants. It started when I was about 13. I started having chest pain, and they diagnosed me with a murmur. And I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I thought it was just a way for me to get out of PE. I didn't have to dress out. So, I lived with that in my life. I learned how to control it, and I would just stop whenever I was having a problem. And it lasted till I was about 40, and I was actually diagnosed with congestive heart failure when I was 40. And I felt really bad, couldn't breathe. They started, medications. I got a lot better, but it only lasted 3 years. So I got my first heart transplant when I was 43 in 2000, April 15th, 2000. So I was all good for a few years, and I had a little bit of trouble with that heart. Got to get a pacemaker, and had an ablation, a couple of those with that heart. Then finally I got chronic rejection in 2009. I'd had it for 9 years. And after a few months, December 22nd of 2009, they put me on the transplant list again, and I waited almost a year, and I got a call December 3rd, 2010, and at 5:45 in the morning, and I saw on my caller ID that it was Emory, and I thought, what's Emory doing calling this early, forgetting that I'd been on the transplant list for a year. And I picked it up, and they said, Lester? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, we think we got a heart for you. And I said, oh yeah. So they called me down. I went down, and I got my second heart transplant. They called it December 4th because they finished me up December 4th, 2010. And as I was recovering in the hospital, it was probably the second day that I was actually aware. Dr. Vega, who's the surgeon at Emory, he did both of my transplants. He came in, he was checking me, and I just said, I play the lottery all the time. If I was to win the lottery, who would I donate to? And immediately he said the Georgia Transplant Foundation. So I started thinking about that as I was recovering in the hospital, and we decided to do an event called Angels of Life. So our first one was July of 2011. I had been out, I was 7 months out from my transplant, and we had around 450 people there that night. We did a fashion show, a silent auction, and it was a lot of fun. And we raised $31,313.13 for the Georgia Transplant Foundation the first year. I want people to know that the GTF, the Georgia Transplant Foundation, supports people that are, on the list waiting for a transplant, people who can't afford their insurance, people who are maybe without hope if they don't have the Georgia Transplant Foundation. I think it's a very important organization. 85% of the monies they collect goes straight to the people they help. So I think it's very important to support them and support really people that are waiting for transplants. I know personally the struggle that I've gone through in my life, and without transplants, I wouldn't be here. Tonight is our 6th annual Angels of Life.
To honor the Georgia Transplant Foundation.
They have been helping everybody with organs. They've helped us.
When you're so sick and you can't work, or your child is so sick and you have to stay at the hospital and you can't pay the mortgage.
Things that people don't normally think about, but that insurance doesn't cover.
6 years, what an amazing event.
I've seen it grow incrementally over time. That's a sign that you're connecting with the community when every year you do better. Not only is it a great cause, the show itself is so fantastic. I mean, the models and the music and the vibe is just an exciting thing to be a part of.
Hello, I'm here with Captain Awesome. When did you get a kidney transplant?
July 2nd, 2015.
Cool, how you doing?
Good.
Me too.
Welcome. You are in for a treat. I don't think you've ever been part of a fundraiser like this before. Tonight you're going to hear stories from recipients and donors. You're going to have a chance at silent auctions and live auctions. You're going to have a chance to really help the Georgia Transplant Foundation out.
Amy doesn't like it when I say this, but she is my hero.
So I encourage everyone, donate to life.
Mr. Carter, his hero right now is Elmo. Now I think about what his heroes are going to be in the future. So is he going to be a fan of Superman? Is he going to be a fan of Batman? What I'm going to teach him is that his true hero is his cousin Pam Price, who gave me her kidney 14 years ago. He wouldn't even exist if I had not gotten that transplant. Is something that I think will resonate with him, and he'll understand the gift of life. So, and that's what we want you to do tonight.
I feel better, more energy. I feel more hungry sometimes.
This year, the Georgia Transplant Foundation and 313 Salon Spa and Boutique are thrilled to honor Chef Henry of Henry's Louisiana Grill as the recipient of the Angels of Life Halo Award.
All I can say is that I'm blessed to be alive, very blessed to be here. And if it wasn't for God and Georgia Transplant, my wife Claudia, this would have never happened.
The point is, that's why you need to give the gift of life, because it saves lives.
The money that you guys are giving tonight is truly going to be used for the right purposes.
Tonight was amazing. The hair and the makeup was our best ever.
This event has been great. We raised a lot of money.
Thank you to Lester, Christina, 313 Salon Spa and Boutique. Thank you to Georgia Transplant Foundation, and thank you to you for being here, and we will see you back October 1st of next year.
We really appreciate everybody's support.